you realize that you have to make some changes and start applying changes. That is the crucial point in the business. And so don't be discouraged that, oh, you are in the business for more than 2 to 3 years and you're not complete one BDC. Everybody have different timing. As long as you are putting yourself still in the game and doing what's necessary, that's important. One thing you have to realize that in our business, as I said, you don't want to encounter problem easy. Sign up and hide. Don't show up. But you're not getting what you want. So as soon as you start getting your hands and feet wet, you encounter problem. Because when people kind of like associate with each other, well, even though you're in your family, mother and daughter got problem, right? Well, not to mention we don't know each other, now we're partners. So definitely problem will surface one way or another. But the thing is that when it does come up, don't blame. Always looking inside to look for where the problem is. So admit that I'm the root of all problems. Did I do something I'm not supposed to do? Or did I not do whatever I'm supposed to do? Anything has something to do with me, not just the other person. But the good thing about it is that I'm the answer, the solution to all the problems. When problems surface, not a big deal. Deal with it if you can. If you can't, let it go.
Right.
Not the end of the world.
Right.
And as my senior partner says, when you do MA, anything doesn't kill you, you can try.
Right.
Anything doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Right.
Okay? And so a lot of time we have to find out, since we are the root of the problem, we have to find out what the root is.
Right.
And many times it's our shortcoming. Let's say there is a bucket, like a wooden bucket, right? There are few pieces of wood and you kind of like bundle them up, right? What determines how much water can contain in the bucket? The shorter one or the longer one? The shorter one. Because when you keep putting water in the shorter one, when it overflows, it goes, right? So our shortcoming, more likely, it's the one that hinder our moving forward. So you have to somehow find out your shortcoming and try to correct them. Right? I have a partner in Hong Kong that she has a shortcoming of being late. Not late for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and sometimes agree with a downline to do an ABC, and she's late for an hour and a half.
Wow.
So ended up, nobody asked her to do ABCs. And then when your organization doesn't grow, and your organization doesn't grow. So you have to find out. And believe it or not, last time when I meet her, she's still lay on me. And you have to try very hard to change that, overstand. In our business, although compared with traditional business, our capital to invest in the business is very low compared with traditional business. But it's still needed. As I said, it's about $240 a month. Well, that's still about $3,000 a month, right? A year.
Yeah.
You have to come up with that $3,000 a year.
Right.
But can it be done by doing the business and generate retail profit? Yeah, you could.
Right.
So, but you have to do it. But what I found is a lot of people that what they do is that they don't plan ahead. And so, for example, when I say, oh, you have to go to Greensboro, they said, no, I don't have the money. The next thing you find out, they went to Finland, they went to England.
Right.
That they don't spend the money wisely, right?
Right.
And so early on when I do the business and we were trained that you have to conserve. When I go to Hong Kong, I go on a way that I have a cell phone app. I record every single transaction I spend my money. Even a bottle of water, 10 Hong Kong dollar, I write it down. And what I do is that at the end of the month, I look at it and still can find out some of the money I don't have to spend, yet I spend it.
Right.
So I kind of like keep track on what I can do more to conserve to do the business.
Right.
And not to mention when I go build my business internationally, I spend a lot more people than you guys. International flights, a lot of hotels. In Singapore, their hotel is very expensive. Their food is very expensive. So I have to know if I overspend. When I have a group of people coming from overseas, we bring them to convention and afterwards they want to go to outlet, right? I don't buy stuff on outlet. I don't want to show example that you can spend your money like aimlessly.
Right. Right.
I send them home, I go to outlet. But I don't do it in front of them. Yeah, you have to show a way, okay? Okay, don't complain, okay? Don't procrastinate and don't, you have to do retailing. Some of the stuff that you definitely would have to do. And also sharpen your skills. A lot of time I'm shy. Well, how do you overcome shyness? Go out, meet people.
Right.
Attend those networking events, and somewhere you have to stand up and present. And I remember the first time I go to networking, it was my nephew tell me that there is an app called Meetup.com. And I went there, I saw in Hong Kong, I said, well, I'm going to Hong Kong, I want to find a meetup I go to. And the first one I found is that show your dream board. I said, oh my God, that's designed for MA, okay? Yeah, and then I just go there in one PowerPoint and talk about my dream, and then from that networking, I have several people, they are nameless, I still follow up to these days. Yeah.
Wow.
So open all the options for yourself, right? Okay, improve your communicating skill, how you talk to people. When you do shop.com for a while, when you talk to different partners, you can probably spot how that partner does the business.
Right.
The way they talk make you feel very comfortable. Anything that come out of his or her mouth, it's all positive.
Right.
And otherwise, some people, gosh, whatever they talk about it's like pinching you. Yeah, so know how to communicate, okay? And improve your organization skill. And believe it or not, most of us are very lack of this skill because we're individual, we take care of ourselves, and all of a sudden you have to take care of other people. I myself, every time when we going to convention, just organize those fly hotels, drive me nuts. I'm not an organized person. And fortunately now my organization is big enough that I have other people pick up the baton. But that always drives me crazy. And yet I still have to do it. Because that's my job, I'm getting other people's PV, so I have to do my job, right? Be a motivator. Always cheer up, talk about good things about the business, and you don't have to overstress problems because it's there anyway. Always cheer people up. Self-management, and we talk about it. Even thinking, you have to manage yourself. In Chinese, in the New Year, we always say one word, 心想事成.
Right.
In English, how do you translate into that? 心想事成. Okay. No, actually, there's whatever you can conceive, you can achieve, right? Right. Well,
That's Napoleon Hill.
is that? Yeah, right. Well, actually, in Chinese, don't tell people about that. According to scientific study, people think about 90% negative every day.
Right.
So if 心想事成的话 that 很折腾的 you know? So that's why we have to change our mind, change our thinking.
Right.
It's not easy because we got so used to the negative thinking.
Right.
But you have to convince yourself. Once you spot yourself are being negative, you have to correct yourself.
Right.
And you have to do it because it's important. It's important, okay? Your word, okay, your emotion, definitely you have to manage that. Your time, your finance, and we talk about it. Leverage your mentor. Because when you brought into the business, regardless if the person's personal sponsor, if your future mentor or not, if you want to do the business, you definitely can search up to somebody who has economic connectedness with you, but yet is willing to mentor you. Find that person. Because our mentor has gone through what we are going through or we are going to go through. So if he or she tells you certain things to do or certain things not to do, you better believe it. Because otherwise you're doing the same damn thing all over again for no result. Right? And so go through that, okay? And because what happened is that the mentor can lay out a strategy for you, and that counts probably 80% of your efforts or your rate of success. Although hard work is important in the business, but your direction is wrong. The more effort you put in, the farther away you are from the goal.
Right.
Right. So setting the direction is very important. Be humble, be a good follower. One thing what I found is often and on, I believe at one time we make the same mistake, is that once we start leading a organization, maybe a sizable organization, wow, our ego shows up. Oh, I'm already a leader, I'm a manager, and all my energy goes to how to manage that like few people, right?
Right.
Well, be a follower. And the easiest way is that lead your partner, junior partner to your senior partner.
Right.
So you are just the bridge, that's ABC. Yeah. Okay, follow up your retail customer, we talk about quite a few. A retail customer always paying attention on what they want and how they use the product, and if they have good result, good testimonial, and a good referral, and so on and so forth. Okay? And second thing is very important is many times when people try very hard to recruit, and finally they recruit and they said, ha ha, cut you. My job is done. You're in. No, your job starts.
Right.
Your job starts, right? So using Getting Started Guide to help them, and make sure that you use product on a daily basis. Listen to audio by attending trainings, and so always have interaction with them and guide them. And so fortunately, in our system, we have accountability, back office accountability. We have the Getting Started Guide to guide them, but yet you have to spend the time with them. And what you're doing, not only you build up this new UFO, you're showing a way that how he's gonna do it to his new UFOs. You're doing a duplication, and it's very important, okay? And help those people who work your help. You have to let the people that you are leading to respect your time span. A lot of time people ask me, if you have a junior partner, you are gonna be leading, what quality do you see the most? You think that is a good partner? And my answer is that that person is willing to spend the time to interact with me.
Right.
If somebody giving all the excuses that are not willing to put the time, I don't think he or she has that big of a chance.
Right.
So if you are new in the business and your sponsor or your upline mentor is actively building the business, raise your hand. I'm here. I want to do the business. Help me, build me up. Help me to expand my business. Your time is probably the most important thing for me at the moment.
Right.
Your experience. So sometimes you have to ask for help.
Right.
Because after all, it's your business. Why not other people help you to build your business faster? If you don't care, do you think other people care? Yeah. So you have to be proactively asking for help. Okay? Follow up your leaders, and once in a while, once you're building your organization to a certain point, that if you are MC, SMC, you got a few ECs in your organization. It seems that you got a couple leaders in your organization, although EC is not really a big leader, but I mean, he or she is still having a few people in the organization. Because in our business, we're not just focusing on BV, that's retail profit. We are not just focusing on people because that's a group of people. They may not be having a culture stick together for a long time. So we are looking for leader plus leader. And those people who's already determined to do this business for a long time. And we spend time on those people. That's your ongoing income. So we have to, number one, identify those people in your organization. Sometimes so-called leader, it doesn't mean that by pin level. Some people, they come in very short time, I already identify the leader, they are leader. Because it's just a matter of time. Because the way they walk, they do things, the way they are responsible for things, and you can know that they are leaders. It just gives them some time. So once they show up in your organization, pay attention to it, because that could be your residual income. Okay, and so when you are leading leaders, there's two things you need to focus. One, what happened if that person came in, but his ability or his education background or whatever is a little bit below average? That's kind of like my sister. 56-year-old housewife, never worked, and bring up 3 kids, and all of a sudden you're doing an online business. So what do?
No choice.
It's okay,
Yeah.
because you can learn.
Yeah.
So she is a very good student in GMDSS. And sometimes nobody in her organization to attend an event, she still go.
Right.
Just like many, you don't even understand English, you still show up here. Show support to your team.
Right.
Show support to the event.
Yeah.
If people saying that I don't have people here, I don't come, and you don't show that many tickets, who comes in the next time?
Right.
So it's a kind of win-win situation, right? So there's always room to grow. But on the other hand, once somebody come in who just got a PhD degree, a permanent brain damage, and also it's called Pizza Hut delivery. If somebody has a very high title, what they can do, and I remember there's one time a organization pop up in Taiwan, and they are the top insurance agents. So they run the whole MA in the top insurance agent way, and ended up like a year or two, and they turned around, oh, how come there's nobody here? Because we're not doing insurance. We're doing MA. You use the MA way to lead people, not the insurance. So they have to tone down their requirement. Or they yell at people if they don't sell anything that week, because they do that in insurance. And imagine how many people can sustain in that kind of environment, right? So you have to, if you're above average, you still have to come down to the average person can manage, but what is the guideline? guideline of GMTSS. We learn the same thing, we do the same thing, we talk the same way. And so anywhere you go to, especially in my case, I got 300 some people in Malaysia and some in Singapore, a bunch of them in Hong Kong, and I'm not always there. And if they don't come to the system, how do I lead them?
Right.
I don't want them to only rely on me, so I don't have time freedom. And so the system is already in place, and whoever who want to do it, do that.
Right.
No matter you're above or below, do that. Right. And one time I have a partner came in, and he's kind of wealthy, and then every time he invite his partner to GMTSS, he has to bring them to dinner, and to pay for the dinner, and then bring them to GMTSS. And over time, all bunch of those people coming to GMTSS, it's because free dinner.
Right.
And we said, no, that's non-duplicatable.
Right.
Some people would not do the business, maybe they said someday they would have to pay for dinner.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So if something is non-duplicatable, don't do it.
Right.
Don't do it, okay? And also understand the different personality in your organization. Although the color represent a little bit different, because when you go online and type in DISC, there's like 20 different ways to use different color to represent. But use DISC as a guideline, okay? So the D, those people are task orientated and they're very dominant, they are decision makers. Okay? And on the other hand, the yellow or the influential, they just have fun. And later on, I'm share with you how to interact with them or how to bring them into the business. And then for the stable, which is people orientated, they are very emotional attached, and they don't want to create any conflicts. And then where the compliance, that they always want data. Everything is data. And they want to study themselves. And they don't mind to take time. Okay, so believe it or not, your organization would contain these 4 types of people. But how do you associate with them? Not the same way. You have to twist a little bit, right? And so how do you determine your partners in what color or DISC, right? So one of the way to determine is that if you find out the left side, which both the dominant and the C, they talk facts, things. They don't really care about emotion that much. Either they do business, tell me the number.
Right.
Investment, return, do it.
Right.
And this one is that, I have to find out all the facts. And where the other side is talking about fun, emotional, image. So that's why a lot of movie star is in this category. A lot of social worker is in this category. And so how do you determine they are? When you open a conversation and what they talk about, you already know which one they talk about. Emotion, relationship, and those are that side. Facts and figures are on this side. Okay? And also, how to determine the ups and downs. The ups talk fast. They move fast. And where the other side is slower. And so that affects the way we talk to them, we recruit them, we interact with them as partners. So you have to customize. That is a little bit, do I scare some of you guys? Oh my God, doing the business, I have to take care too much, okay? And so when you recruit them, when you recruit the dominant, don't talk about too much detail. They hate detail. And they just want the big numbers. $4.99, 2 to 3 year plan, only 15 hours. Oh, financial freedom, let's do it.
Yes.
How? I don't know, don't care. Don't talk too much detail. Don't take out getting started guide, career manual. Oh, come on, try them nuts, okay?
Right.
So big numbers, okay? Fast decision. Okay? And where that one, fun is the key word. Or you want to bring them to icon, or you tell them, oh, it's fun. Wow, we fly with a bunch of people. And when we go to this convention, wow, although Greensboro, there's nothing, no, you know. Oh, you have a lot of fun, we have a lot of activity. For our team, after the convention, we go to a Mexico cruise. Tell them about the fun part. How to do the business, the step, that's later on. Because those people, they want the image. And the most attractive for those people is that, you know what, we host event all the time, we always look for a good speaker.
Right.
A host. They want to show up, show off. Yeah, you use that to attract them. Is that true? Yeah, we have a lot of events, we need hosts all the time, right? Okay, so you talk whatever they're interested in, okay? For these people, one thing that they do, they hate to make decisions. They're so worried about if they make the decision is right or wrong. So once you force them to make decision at the end of the presentation and don't say, are you ready or not? No. How about let's do it? We do it together. Don't worry, I'm standing side by side with you. Yeah. So they want to be accompanied with. And you make the decision for them. Yeah. How about let's take our application of iPad to sign up. Don't worry, we're gonna do it together, okay? And then with this, you cannot push. It's, everything is so logical. And you said, don't rush to make decision. Although I'm saying, oh, it's the last day of UFO. Yeah, sign up. But I can say sign up. Okay.
Yeah.
No worry. What do you need? A annual report? Korean manual? I'll let you look at it and you make decision. You cannot push. Just give them a lot of figures and scientific backups. And when you show the website, you always go to scientific and go to those clinical study, right? So they want to crunch themselves. And then the same thing in your organization, that when you mobilize these people in your organization to do things, the dominant one is that make them to conduct events, to come up with idea. What should we do in our organization to kind of like spice up the organization a little bit? They want to make decisions.
Right.
And then the host event, the speaker, the one who come up with showing off, right? And comfortable with people. And these are normally in your organization, they are the lubricant in your organization. When you have this person fighting with this person, and then you go in the middle, well, it's not that bad. He said a lot of good things about you, and then go to the other one, right? So you need these people in your organization and tone down the conflicts, okay? And the C, which is conduct meeting, do a lot of trainings, come up with agendas and things like that. So although we understand we're all different, but don't enlarge the differences, but embrace how we collaborate.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, and also follow up the team. And we have the people, we have the new people, we have the leader, we have the follow-up team. What is a team? Together everyone achieve miracle or more. Well, the key word here is together. Because sometimes we see an organization, they have the people there, but they don't have the cohesiveness. They don't stick together. Everybody is so big with their own ego that they want to make decisions their own. So ended up, that organization doesn't have the bounding that everybody has the same common goal. Okay? So I have a video here, but you don't have to listen. It's not important. Amazing, huh?
不要一致，
好
一起 machines，teamwork。
那好了，
Okay, what do we learn from this video? Number one, everybody put not only their strength, but their whole body, they're all in.
哇，all in，
All in, because if they fail, everybody fail and they will injure themselves. So they're putting the whole body in. They're not just putting the arm, the leg, they're all in.
熬夜，
So, and secondly is that they are leveraging, they act together. Because if they don't synchronize, it doesn't go in as each time you punch, right? Synchronize is important. Number three, they leverage tools. When they first got in, try to balance, they have to have tool. And number four, they trust this guy. Because if this guy doesn't do the job, they all fall, right? But representing that in our business, what that means, we have to be all in.
right?
And don't say, oh, I can do this, but I cannot do that. I'm not willing to do that, I can do this. No, you go in and all the meeting necessary, because if you don't do that, you're not getting the full course of the business model. So all in. And number two is that you have to act synchronized. A lot of time, because we are running the business as a team, and so sometimes when the decision, the team decision finalized, it might not be what you want, but you do it anyway.
Right.
One time, James Hall was invited to the company to attend their company meeting, which JR, Dennis Frank, Kevin Buckman. And James Hall says, when I go in, it scared the heck of me. Everybody was fighting, they just like did not pick up stuff and throw it at each other, but they are fighting to the point that they want to kill each other. But at the end, once the decision has made, everybody will just do whatever the decision is made.
Oh.
Because think about it, if you are so care about the company and so being responsible, if you have a thought, wouldn't you express your thought?
Yeah.
And if somebody have a different thought, won't we talk about it?
Right.
But yet, when the decision has made, everybody do the same thing.
Oh.
That's very important. In my organization, we are adopting that from my senior partner. We have a bi-weekly meeting, and we do the same thing regardless what your pin level. Of course, we have a pin level requirement to go into this team. Everybody got one vote. Once we decide to do certain thing, we vote for it, regardless your type, your pin level, and one vote. So the least have to go by the most. So I adapt that into my organization in Hong Kong, and so we have about 14 people in this what we call a strategy meeting. We have bi-weekly, we do the same thing. Everybody come up with good idea, and then we narrow down and we make the decision, and everybody do. Even though sometimes I have raised something, ended up they don't take my recommendation, it's okay too. We just do whatever most people think is right for everybody, right? And also use tools. When we do this business, there's so much tool that we can use. And this is one of them. Okay? And finally, we have to trust our team, trust our leader. Because in our organization, if you understand infinitively 100%, no upline wants the downline to be not productive, not doing well. Right? So we have to trust them. Whatever suggestion they gave us, it would be for our good. May not be at the moment. I can understand what the meaning behind it. I do anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So a lot to learn. And also adopt the 4C to build your organization. And That's at one particular convention JR emphasized. 4C. The first one is the counseling. What you do is that when you have a new partner, when you have partners, regardless new or old, as long as your junior partner, they require your coaching and you do counseling and find out could be what's their problem, not be able to